matchups in our pool. Let's break them down one by one until we're left with one actual decider. Best of one series for Pro League, as it's been for a while now, and we're going to play Clubhouse again.
Oh, decision between these two. So that's especially interesting because Liquid not only played INTZ on this before and lost INTZ, but every other time they've played it, they've won 7-3, which is like, I believe, 3 times. So Liquid are good at this map, except for, it seems, against INTZ, who are also decent at this map, although they have a lot of draws outside of beating Liquid. So if Liquid could figure out what they did so poorly last time against INTZ, should be an easy 7-3 for them. But I don't know, INTZ have proven they could do it, so we'll see how they do on this one. And this was, of course, Liquid's choice. As you can see, they had last ban on Consulate, so...
Which sometimes is a pretty good map for Liquid. Historically speaking, it has been, but of course things change. The metagame constantly shifts, and I'm really curious about operator bans on Club because we saw the double heart breach in the last game between the Thermite and the Habana. I'd assume that things might be a bit different in
probably
this time
gonna
around.
see the Thatcher ban this time. We got kind of lucky in that last matchup.
I'm gonna need to whisper as Maverick Sooty Torch does. So let's go through this. We have our community vote. What do you guys think about this matchup? These community votes
are Liquid sided, right?
I would only assume all of these are available on our social media, and 82% for.
Yeah, I don't take a sneak peek at these, so I don't know.
So yeah, it's pretty huge if you ask me, and understandable given the plays from Liquid so far. There's a reason why they're number 1 currently. It's pretty big. So
we'll see if they could stay there.
Our game is in. Let's head in. Let's talk about it.
Now, of course, if they don't win this and they just draw or lose, it's still possible they hold on to that first place because it depends on Nip's match against FaZe, which is not an easy opponent.
So a tie is not enough for NIP in their matchup. They need to win. There's no other way around it.
First operator ban. All right.
Maverick is second one. Show me the money.
Back to the usual. Yeah, probably.
Are they gonna ban like a Thermite? A Capitao? Okay, fair enough. Capitao's still very strong on this.
He's been banned a lot on this map, though.
We're definitely gonna be seeing Maverick Thermite on this, or Hibana Maverick. I think depends on the set you're expecting first. But for like a cash stake, 100% go Thermite Maverick, and if it's anything else, well, yeah, you can go for Hibana actually Maverick with every site on this, because then you can just send the Hibana to play construction into cash. So, yeah. Mira, not the most impactful operator on the map, but still, she's been seeing some play in the past couple of weeks, and she's a pretty good operator that builds the defense around her utility.
Yeah, not a surprise on the defensive bans there. Technically not a surprise on the attack bans either, really. It just depends on how you want to play. But Jim playing first. We'll see if they stick to that, but that's an odd choice to start things out. Is SexKit going to stick to that Monty? And against a Goyo here, of course, he's going to see what they're bringing now, and he can decide to stick to that Monty if he wants to, seeing no lesion. The Goyo is still problematic, like I said, for the Monty, though, so he's not going to bother with it. Drunks, however, going to sneak over to that Castle, because he didn't want to tip off his hand that they were playing Jin. And, of course, Castle can do that, although Castle does get played quite a bit now for the upstairs roams on Church, so wouldn't have necessarily given out too much, but not seeing the mute Mozzie combo, Vigil, whatever, might have also been a tip-off that it wasn't going to be Church, so understandably you want to hide it. Take advantage of those 6 picks while you can.
So, there's Castle. We're going to see another barricade in here into Gym, right? A lot of potential when it comes to this site. We talked about it. Maybe we can see Wamai at some point. Drunks, what is it going to open up to get through? Okay, so they have the rotation hole, and it doesn't seem like INTZ are investing a reinforcement into that gym wall, which I completely agree with. There's no real reason to do it, because you can hold it from below with one player. You sometimes see a Vigil, but also sometimes a Valkyrie, and you just open up the foot level holes in gym, and you're set to go. So definitely a strategy that, in my opinion, is very effective, and we saw what can happen if you just leave that reinforcement there open for the attackers to utilize. Bits is running the Goyo in the meantime. I know that's an interesting position. You don't really see the hallway here being set up with a Goyo shield, but it makes sense if you want to hold on to cash. There's a Mute Jammer as well to help you. Mute Jammer is just going to stop the Habana, as we don't have, you know, some super important operator bans when it comes to the Heart Breachers. It's just the Thatcher. It's not the end of the world. And there it is.
Yeah.
Sexy Cake. Beautiful play with the Maverick. Open up the top, open up the bottom, and then you're good to go. You can do it whatever you'd like on this wall specifically, because you're not really going to get pushed by the defenders. It's unusual. But on the server side, it's sometimes better to do the reverse, even if you get tagged a bit with a smoke. It's not the end of the world. Oh, the castle.
Oh, there we go.
Nesk, one player close to the second.
How does Nesk not lose his face there as well?
And a Nitro used. Nobody speaking from server to capitalize on the kill. It's a huge pickup here.
Well, with 3 hard breachers here as well, it's definitely on INTZ to try and kill at least one of them on this attack, because otherwise this could be pretty easy to get into, especially if they get that bathroom wall open.
Located by attackers.
So far going pretty smooth for Liquid. Just getting the job done here in terms of eliminating a lot of positions of the players. Killing that castle, though, behind that mattress. Definitely a great kill. Ameo, though, managing to find a 1 before Sexy Cake trades him, who is doing a fantastic job this round. He's getting an 8 out of shield as well. They're going to leave the castle barricade up. That's what we were talking about last time, is take advantage of the castle barricades. If you know they're not playing in gym and you can section them off, use that to your advantage. Why not? You can always get in there later to be able to go for the plant if you need to, but better to take control of bedroom.
Good nade all the way down, and there it is. Sexy Cake confirms it. There's so many grenades that you can use, but because you're running the Buck and the Maverick in tandem. And now it's got to be tough to go through, though, the castle barricade and walk into gym if that's your play. And you can hear it. There's tapping away. Moringa's going to take his time with it, and it's open. Planting at the gym is not always the wisest of decisions, though, and Flashbang's going to come out to slow things down. There's already a Claymore set on the side, and there it is. There's the reinforcement that he can use just behind that secret vault. Vit's going to find Sexy Cake, but the diffuser's already down, and Habana knows what's up. Paulo's going to find a kill, and the Buck can fall off the angle. And a 3v1, Vitz doesn't really have much in the way of options, and he was trying to Nitro and play from below at the gym, but he got baited perfectly into this. Liquid understanding that they have the time to go through it and destroy the barricade. At bottom time, it bought them a free plant. And he's not going to be alive for too long here. Vitz flashed out. Little ammunition left in the TCSG that can do so much damage, but he's just flailing around like a marionette, and Moringa confirms the kill. Liquid victorious in round 1.
Very confidently so. They had a very good round. Sex Cake, as you mentioned, doing a great job getting the wall open. They had 3 hard breachers, in contrast to last match where 2 of them were banned. They were able to get the job done. Nesk landing his kill through the window, taking control of the bedroom. It was pretty much textbook for Liquid to get that done. There was only so much that INTZ were able to push back against that. Going to gym first, fun idea, not great execution, unfortunately. Sexy Cake not going to stick that. Monty again, unfortunately. But we are going to see the church roam. The old mute Vigil Mozzie. They're hiding the Vigil a little bit here. Of course, it will be pretty obvious pretty soon that Vigil is in place. And you start to see that distortion on your drone. So they're going to have the Legion as well to potentially help with the roam. I mean, honestly, it's not a bad idea to actually have either the Mute or the Mozzie go downstairs and have the Legion on the roam with the Vigil. The reason I say that is normally I don't recommend Legion on roam, but upstairs here where his Legion Goobines will give you a warning that they're starting to push your flanks and give you the opportunity to escape, I do think it's worth considering a roam here. He is upstairs at the moment, so hopefully he'll be sticking that. 3-man roam I do not recommend though. Unless you're really confident in your ability to trade every single kill, you potentially lose 3 players upstairs, or they just go for a sight rush on you. So 2-mans is enough, especially if you've got the Mute Mozzie Vigil combo. So see how they go for it though. Liquid gonna probably clear Strip Club first, is generally the way to do it. The one thing they don't have though on INTZ for this defense is the castle to really help with the roam inside the bar side. So
just trying to waste as much utility as possible in this. PSK is going to set down one of his charges on the wall to enter from Jacuzzi. And there it is. You can walk in. You always want to pressure from the top. Some teams, what they do when they see this sort of spread is that they just push down into sight and kind of ignore the defense and the roam on that top floor. And if the hatches are left reinforced, then great, you can actually do that. But most of the time, the hatch and bar is left open to rotate back down, and a castle is used. Not the case here. But as I said, it's very ballsy. It's unorthodox. And Alamau was trying to find somebody through garage, maybe. Dud's gonna find. Oh, he's gonna get shot down. He's gonna find a bullet in the body. Nesk. Good shot there on the Zofia. Poke out into bar. It's clear. You know there was an impact that went through it. But you want to shut down rotations from the defenders who are just going to be diving on down into blue. One player still is left in the main lobby. One in garage potentially, if that was the player just rotated back. There's actually 3 players that are still alive around this bar area. Look at Alamau. He rotated out of garage through lounge into lobby. You got Drunks as well sitting by the stage. And they even left the hatch reinforced. This is an oddity. Usually the hatch is opened up for rotations. There's many angles to watch. Oh no. It should have been telegraphed 10 miles back, but Drunks finds 2 kills for no reason. Definitely should not have been possible here. There's one more for Drunks.
Wow.
This is just, I can't believe this is actually happening. Got another one for Drunks. He's getting them all.
He's denied the ace, but man.
It should not have happened. This is Liquid that just don't know how to react to this. They try to play their standard game, but they had the site free for them. They could have just...
This is without the castle as well.
Those mute jammers really slowed things down, I have to say, but maybe too much if you ask me.
Honestly, it was the rotate into kitchen that really worked out for Drunk, because he had an escape route, but he even used it to get a kill. I really like that, the way he set up that escape route over in the corner by the end of the kitchen hallway. Use that, he fought bar 1, rotated to the kitchen rotate, and actually got a kill from there, and had the ability to use that to escape as needed, so he was able to defend himself against pushes from multiple sides. But really, again, yeah, they should... Drunks did so well, he's got to force a rehost now. He needs a moment to finish celebrating. Maybe he celebrated too hard. Broke his computer. Yeah.
It happens.
So we will have a quick rehost here, so you get everyone back in.
What's a LATAM night without a rehost, Evan?
Right?
It only makes sense. I can tell you right now, that last game that we have tonight is going to have a rehost in it, just so we can kick it down in the right way.
Of course, we'll probably start off with a rehost for the last match.
But honestly, let's take a look at this from perspective of Liquid. They didn't really do much to clear that bar area, even though it was kind of seen, right? Telegraphs, you're not really able to do too much against being spotted and having all your locations known. The wall, for God's sake, between the stage and the hallway into kitchen was opened up too. So you're kind of giving out all the information. Yeah, sure, the hatch and bar is reinforced, but that shouldn't be the thing that you rely on, and you can come in from other positions. I think it could have been handled way better than this.
Oh, definitely.
The drawing was just not on point.
It's really the coordination as well. I mean, they tried to push somewhat as a team. When you saw the player coming in from kitchen as well, but it was the timing wasn't there, and a lot of that was due to the droning. They really, if they had been better prepared for that, should have been able to win the fight. The fact that they threw so many bodies at it and lost all of them as well, without him really changing position for the most part, that was just. I mean, it's not necessarily droning so much as just bad play that round from Liquid and really good play from Drunks. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They lost gunfights they should have won, and all the intel in the world doesn't matter when he didn't move. Like, you know where he's at because your teammate just died there. So at the first death, okay. The next 3 deaths were not due to lack of intel. They were just due to lack of playing well on gunfights. And it's unfortunate to see from Liquid, who had such a strong start, but if anything, that rehost probably necessary for them to take a breather and be like, whoa, guys, slap ourselves on the face, take a cold shower real quick. That doesn't need to happen. They could easily win those. That was an unnecessary round. And I mean, obviously benefited INTZ, but I don't think we're going to see more rounds like that from them. But Liquid certainly are going to be taking that rehost to better prepare. We got everyone back in, so hopefully we'll only take a second to get started back in the round again. But
maybe someone used up all the power in the area, as they spent the last 3 days teleporting bread. And that's a reference for some people to know. Rest in peace. That's all I gotta say. I don't know if you caught that reference, Devin.
No.
It's a reference to the soldier in Team Fortress 2. And his voice actor who passed away only yesterday, I think.
That's unfortunate to hear. I'm sorry to hear that. Back in the game we will go. We will cut back over to it just as soon as we make sure everything's cool for round 3. And of course they can't play church again. So they're going to have to go cash. They could go gym again, but that wasn't necessarily the play. So just there we go. Back to the game. Will Sex Kick play Monty for real? Who knows? Nope.
American and Castle Mozzie. Okay. A CCTV cache defense makes sense. You get the nitro. You kind of fake out the bedroom.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So here we are. Where's the Goyo gonna set up his shields? That's obviously the big question. And since the Thatcher's banned, you can double up and play. You might think that, hey, maybe this is the time for me to run, Clyde and Bandit and all of that. You don't actually really need that. Even then, in my opinion, the Clyde isn't really the greatest operator to bring for this site, as we saw in our last game, just because it's so easy for an even decently proficient Maverick to easily deal with your wall and blast it open. You also have Habana, and in my mind, having the Clyde really makes it way easier to hold on to this cache, the construction wall. That really is the biggest linchpin, in position where he should be looking towards the entire round. With the Habana also, you can destroy you can destroy the wall pretty effectively, but you still have to deal with that Clyde trick with the Electro Claw. Because your X-Kairos are so slow to detonate, you can just destroy them on the wall if thrown correctly and timed well. But a Thermite, Habana, and Maverick, all three of them in play, clear contrast to what we had on the last matchup.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, INTZ going to be feeling pretty confident after that last round, especially Drunks. But we know at the end of the day, in theory, Liquid should be the better team. It's just on this map. I mean, hard to say given the history on it, with this being a victory previously for INTZ. And this, of course, being more important money-wise for Liquid by far than it is for INTZ. At least they're getting the walls open here. Again, plenty of hard breach possibility. They bring all three yet again. So they should be able to get the job done quickly. How they execute from there, given the rest of the time, we'll see. If I was INTZ, of course, I would try and not give them any early picks, as they're going to have plenty of time as it is.
So, as the wall completely opened up, droning in, making sure the top floor, at least the bedroom and bathroom position of it, clear. And then you can start to walk your way into site. The split pushes are always the best part of attacking on this site. Pushing from one position just through the server wall is never a good thing to do. You always push yourself, like, sure, you might win a round, but it would be all off of gunfights that you won kind of because the defenders kind of made a mess of it. But in theory, the defenders should never lose if the servers opened up and no pressure is coming from anywhere, not from below, not from the construction side. This is what makes this site so difficult for a lot of amateur teams to kind of push into, and the Goyo definitely doesn't make it any easier. One Electro Claw is still up. I'm not sure where they actually put that Electro Claw, but seems like it's doing work, and Sexy Cake will make the play. Paulo finds Fitz. Good play there on the Goyo, and taking down possibly one of those Nitro cells.
Well, job's getting done here. Paula does take a lot of damage, but it's certainly not going to be worse for their C4 shot out of the air as well, it looked like. It's nicely done. It's being down as well, and Dud's being pretty easy to finish off potentially, but a lot of kills coming out back and forth. Drunks finally finds another one, as Duds does as well. Looking pretty good here as Moringa last alive on Liquid to fight this out, starting to take damage to the wall, and INTZ really fighting back again. Maybe this is just their map. They are on defense, however, but It's not as drastic on the hard breach bans as it was last match, so
Yep.
a little bit less excuse for Liquid here.
Very interesting take there. Honestly, because you're trying to think of, did they push server? They open up the server wall. That was a question. There was still time left. Was it a multi-pronged assault? Yes, it was. Server wall was open. The wall from construction into cache was open. You had everything for you there. You even got an entry kill. Yet still, on the actual push towards the site, you lost players for free. And subsequently, the entire round. Big mistakes and capitalized upon very well by INTZ. They'll go up to Gym Bedroom now, a site that Liquid bashed through pretty much on their first round. So I'm interested to see what is the change and will it actually have an effect.
Well, Gym is definitely a tricky one. So far, the only round that Liquid has won. Now, of course, hard breach matters a lot on this because of the hot tub wall once that gets opened and the bathroom wall once that gets opened. It can fall apart pretty quickly for defense. They are going with shield strat to some extent, but they're not bringing extra shields. They're bringing just Goyo shields and then a bulletproof camera here from Castle. So that will be helpful a little bit if they need to play for more of a retake, which they likely will if control happens again. Now, last time there was a little bit of a freebie given to Nesk through the window that Castle has now reinforced with his Castle barricade this time. So I doubt that's going to happen a second time. Ooh, nice spot there, catching the black eye camera being thrown. So good drone work and setting it up in the pipes. Best drones are always the ones that are above eye level, right? Because those are the least likely to be seen. Remember, for example, Slash's drones up in the piping in Bank and how useful that was when he was playing on that Nook. Just as an example of a drone that's like can just sit right above a player unseen, because it just a lot of players don't look above eye level. But that's of course what Black Eyes also take advantage of. They are going to get some intel here. Mute Jammer's not really stopping them from droning this. They just need to be able to execute on the intel they have. Of course, the usual footholes open and no reinforcement. We talked about that last time, about how that could be a bit of a mistake, reinforcing the gym wall.
So there's the opener and Castle barricades down. I don't know if he's even set at any point in time here in the hallway. Now Vitz might be playing from downstairs as a mute jammer, and mute jammer is not going to disrupt that claymore there. I'm not even sure if that's possible. That'd be interesting though as an interaction. Drone's been set in, and there's a hole just to destroy that default cam. And now you can pressure into that bathroom. There's a mute jammer behind it, so you can just deal with the mute jammer and bring PSK to blow up the entire wall. That's a possibility. Is there going to be a nitro around the corner? Vitz has not exposed himself. Grenade onto the... Oh, okay, so that's for anybody downstairs, and that's the Valkyrie. And actually, the C4 just shot in the air. Great play there. Not sure why there's the second grenade that's being used, but fair enough. The wall's been completely opened up. Sexy Kick still alive. You could have brought the thermite to completely open this up, but fair. There's the wall completely destroyed thanks to the buck. And Moringa does the job. All he's got to do now is hold those angles. But there's one player, Trunks here, sitting to push at any point in time. Oh, he's going to be naded out to smithereens. Moringa with a great grenade onto Trunks, blowing up the shield also next to him. The entry that Liquid really needed.
Well, they've got 40 seconds left to finish this execute. At least they have some map control, but they actually have to get set up for this plant here. Vitz is in a good position to be able to try and stop that as well if they can't contest it. But there's the peak. Easy kill from there.
It's 2K, and now you just watch. You know there's one player inside of logistics. And those Paulo, what he's trying to do to push up and find him, that's will get one kill, but the Buck is already down one. He's going with the shotgun, and there's the Valkyrie dead. A quad kill for Moringa with only duds left, and he's sitting in the side of the secret stash. He'll go in for the plant. I'm not sure if he has a nitro cell. No, he does not. It's no longer available. He already used it up. He'll find a great headshot on an Esk, and Moringa is looking for the ace, but it's BSK to take it. And Team Liquid win it off again. Great play by the Buck, knowing when to push into the hallway. The Skeleton Key doing work against the Valk. And yeah, you're left alone. You're going to find some commiseration kills, but no more. Again, 2 for 2 here, Liquid on Gym Attack.
Yeah, so far, that's the only site they've been able to win. I would hope they could steamroll that into a bit more. Again, they're not too nerfed on their attacks. I mean, they lose the Thatcher, but they've got all the other hard breachers. Capitao isn't a necessity for attacks, despite how much it was used in the last match. So it should be a lot more doable, especially for these church attacks. But we saw, obviously, Drunks just going ham inside the bar is not the usual expected situation. It's not like a quote-unquote strategy you can bank on. So unlikely to see a repeat of that. So I would think Liquid could pull it off this time. But again, as you mentioned, their droning needs to be on top of it. They need to do a much better job droning these top 2 floors and making sure that they seal those off as quick as possible and force players down. But of course, that is the purpose of this strategy, is to delay as long as possible up there, make it so that it is difficult to do. However, there are limited entries and exits. There are limited rotates. There is no castle barricades. You should be able to, in theory, cut off the player rotates back and be able to section them off and kill them, assuming they just don't go crazy and kill 4 of you with no repercussions.
10 seconds left.
So, again, this roam play from INTZ. Are they going to drop back down to bar? The question. I can't believe it actually worked in, the one of the posterior rounds. It just didn't make any sense, and I hope that Liquid can learn from those mistakes, because they're bringing in the 3 hard breachers. They know that they need to deal with a lot of reinforcements here, and they have a lot of utility to just dump around. If done correctly here, you don't have to worry about players at a bar, but you have to just hold the right angles. It's as simple as that.
Simple as that. Just hold the right angles. Not literally right angles. Oh, speaking of angles there. Almost a firefight one, but there we go. Nice cutoff of Drunks. Finally punishing him for the previous 4K, but wow, nicely traded by Alameo from the garage.
Very well done there by Alameo. That's the SMG-11 doing its work. And it's time to fall back on site if you want to. INTZ might choose to push their advantage. There's a mute jammer deleted around the corner in bathroom. And you can just watch this. Alameo is moving in from lounge, and at some point in time, he'll hit Palu. Just sitting on the front porch, waiting for that move of the mute. And he spotted, unfortunately, the angle is a bit too close to hitting the headshot there. It's an equilibrium, maybe. The flashbang is going to push the mute back for just a second. There's a drone confirming the location in the meantime. And Sexy is going to get off that drone for a moment. There it is, confirmed. You're not going to be able to escape it. And Alameo taken down. For the loss of the Zofia, it's not the end of the world, but you're only taken 2 players down. You still have to go through all of those reinforcements.
There's still the Legion hanging out as well. So that's the big thing they have to deal with here, is if they can take him out as well. And honestly, maybe they should have some players pushing downstairs onto the 2 remaining players. But there we go. Nice kill on Ududs. Now, I have a minute left to execute on the last 2. However, VNX does take down PSK, who's still upstairs. Actually, never mind. I guess I thought he'd rotated down as well, but no. They are really committing to this top floor. However, that could be the death of them. Really, they could just go push downstairs now that they have 4 versus 1 on the downstairs. If they could just take down this guy. Unfortunately, Skeleton Key was not the right thing to have out there when he goes to rotate in the hallway. But at least Sex K is there. Sex K is there to trade. Now, VNX is going to be in a desperate retake scenario. He's still thinking he's going to be pushed. In the meantime, Sex Cake is down checking his email inside site.
Devin, this is not something you see every day, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah, he's gonna have to rotate back down. They know where he is. All those hatches are reinforced.
Yeah, they know where he's gonna rotate from too. It's not like he can be super unpredictable here. This is probably his best bet. He's gonna drop, make some sound. Likely they heard it. He could be pressure from Dirt Tunnel as well as, of course, the angle there from Sexy Cake. Much better round from Liquid that round, and overcommitting a bit to the top floor from INTZ, not working out. That's probably the outcome we should have had on the previous attack for Church, but Drunks just went crazy. Not so much this time, as he was shut down first. We'll see if they can pull off Cash again here, or if Liquid have also adjusted to that. What do you think Sex Cake bring out this Monty for reals? Come on, it's the last attacking round.
3 rounds on attack is already pretty darn good.
Nope.
Given the situation,
It's not going to do it.
Yeah. So no 6 picks here coming off of Liquid. They've been pretty much running the same lineup every single round. And honestly, I completely understand it. You have the most flexibility with these operators. Zofia for stuns and self-destruction plus a great gun. A Claymore. You have grenades between Moringa and Sexy Cake playing the Buck and the Maverick. Got Maverick for Heart Breach. And then you also have the Hibana and the Thermite to help things out. Thermite opens up the big holes, Hibana going for the smaller ones, more surgical. But the Maverick is definitely the big aid in this because you don't have a Thatcher, you have to deal with the Qaed somehow. And it's only a matter of time. Though, as I said before, Qaed playing inside a cache and holding on to this wall from construction into cache is probably your best bet.
Especially with the Thatcher ban, right? Of course, as we talked about last time, not so necessary if Thatcher's available. But with him banned, yeah, you got to deal with this. Of course, Maverick being available makes it a little bit less of a thing in some ways, but if you can kill the Maverick, then you're definitely sitting in a pretty good position to be able to deal with that, especially since they're not bringing any kind of IQ to spot the positioning of the Electric Claws. Not that that helps a ton. It certainly makes it more doable, and look at Sexy Cake just absolutely on top of this. This is the last round he has to play Maverick, so he's going to be just jumping immediately on it. He's got to make sure someone can cover him as well on the doorway, which I imagine they're going to do. He's doing a good job as well with this Mavericking. He's very much on top of it. A little bit risky the way he's doing the ground level, not going with the safe route, but uncontested. They are going to get that wall open very quickly. That's what they need to do, right? If you're dealing with this Qaed, just eliminate the necessity of dealing with those Electric Claws as quick as you possibly can. Start to set up to clear your utility out. There's no Wamai, so they can clear out the ADSs with flashbangs. Start to nade in, clear out some of those Goyo shields while there's still time left. Possibly even burn off some of those smoke canisters. Got to deal with C4 as well, of course.
No. What does Ness do? He just stays on that roof and he can just fire down if he wants to. If there's anybody inside a bedroom. I guess that's what Liquid are expecting right now in the beginning. Oh, he's going to rotate away. So go for the normal breach, drop into logistics. Sexy Cake's taking a bit of damage. But so far, so good. Going. Just make sure that you're pressuring from the bedroom. Turns around, Moringa's taking a bit more himself, and unfortunately losing the drone here on the entry is going to get shot down at least.
Oh.
Mozzie can't use it.
You really want to consider putting those pests in positions where you can actually keep the drone, ideally. But if the attacker's doing the job, they shouldn't be droning too far ahead of people behind them anyways. But it is obviously nice if you can actually keep a drone as Mozzie. I mean, eliminating drone's great and all, but if you can use it against them, even better. Especially if they're not paying close attention to which drones are which. Nice nade there, though. And that's going to kill off Lameo, as well as take out a Goyo shield. Now that smoke's down. So C4s and the Goyo shields are the main worry here for the attackers. They still got 38 seconds to work with, but it's not a ton of time. There's another Goyo shield. That's going to force the player on top of cache back. They're still trying to deal with the player on rafters, though. This is what they need to pressure. They have not focused on taking top of barrage, so instead they're going for the workshop push here. A lot of shots coming down as pre-fire to make sure no one rotates out for the flank. They've got all the angles, but they need to get into sight with 17 seconds left.
Oh boy. You got the holes opened up here. And oh, Paulo with a great flank. Switching over to the Bearing 9. It's not going to help. Duds and VNX are going to find a kill each. It's a 3v3 as PSK goes for the plant, but VNX gets the frag regardless. 416 hitting off, and there's time left. VNX still gets Moringa, and it slows down Liquid way too much. It's tied at the half, but it's still fine for the now defenders of Team Liquid.
Yeah, that probably should have been a Liquid round, but just their inability to eliminate a lot of players on the entry itself cost them time-wise. I thought they were doing a pretty good job efficiency-wise, especially killing the smoke as well early. But just too many good angles being held by members of INTZ who were able to back off and just hold their positions. But we said we'll see how things go on the side switch now that INTZ have to go for the attack. It is going to be Church for the roam. The castle is going to be brought out from Liquid, unlike INTZ. They 6-pick over to it to kind of hide that, but it's not going to be all that much of a secret when you see the mute Mozzie there, that it is likely they're going to be dealing with that. No cameras to be dealt with in terms of the Black Eyes not being available now that they've 6-picked off that, but they're going to have, in theory, everything they need for a roam setup, because not only they've got the castle, but they also have the Legion on top of that. The question is, are they going to overcommit to the top floor, though, in a situation where we could see INTZ just rush site without them getting back fast enough? We have seen that happen in the past, especially with all these hard breaches available. It is interesting, though, to see that INTZ aren't bringing all 3 hard breachers the way Liquid were.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds left before insertion.
So everybody's dropping back down. And yeah, I think Liquid want to, give it back, throw it back to INTZ after the amount of problems, I guess, Liquid had in that first round pushing through here. Look at the bullet hole here set up by Nesk. He's expecting maybe somebody pushing in through that doorway, but there's nobody in. And this is the ideal strategy. I talked about this before, Devin. If you usually see players and teams roaming, it means that they're running castle somewhere, mute Mozzie. This is the castle mute Mozzie. That's the SSG lineup pretty much. It's a strategy that SSG's tried and worked very well for them. This is the most reliable way to do things right now. And just having the hatch closed is not always something you can rely on. I think INTZ definitely learned the lesson on their second time playing as bossy as they did inside a bar and pushing everybody off of the site, leaving really only one to defend it. How do you go through this?
Playing a little more careful here. Just hoping to catch anyone on some of these angles. They're going to have some fair amount of soft breach, trying to open things up and get through those castle barricades, but slow droning. Of course, the Mute Mozzie combo along with the Vigil does make that happen. See how much they can clear out. They are going to spot the Mozzie. He could actually, if he has a pest left, try to get that drone, but now he's just going to shoot at it. He knows someone's going to push him from that angle as well, but it studs to actually come around. But there is good flank coverage on the cache doorway from, I imagine, the Mute.
Oh boy. Can he push at any point in time? The Habana looking the wrong way. The drone is going to confirm the location of Palu, but it's a trade. Moringa is going to win in the gunfight, and then Duds immediately trades him. A flashbang is in. No way, realistically, for the Mozzie to run out. And how does he even win the gunfight? Palu is still alive. He's got the shotgun out in hand. He's waiting for people to push into him. And he's still alive inside a secret vault. I can't even believe that this is happening right now.
He's brave.
Drunks is just falling back. He doesn't even want to take this gunfight. He's expecting somebody from Liquid to push up into him and try to find a kill against him. And they're cornering him. Oh, he still finds the kill. Paulo with the knife on the Drunks. He still had one more shotgun shell left.
HP.
Is he going to be alive? He's going to try to drop down here, and maybe the Zofia will be able to catch him, but no, he's already dropped in. Diffusers are still inside of logistics. Oh my, he got away with actual murder right now. He's already down back onto billiards. There's 28 seconds left. You're walking down into sight, but it's basically a death hallway. Alma gets one, but is it even going to matter? He's already down. The impact, not going to collect him though. But the Zofia's far back. Duds is all on his own. He's got the fuser, but does it even matter? Palu collecting one more still. The Mozzie, man. No way Palu should have done anywhere near the damage he did in this round.
The Drunks, basically.
Pretty much. They fought him back.
So nicely done. That was the first defensive round for Liquid, and Paula pretty much made it his own. Now they've got to go to cash, but man, what a good start for the defense side. Of course, we had that 3-3 split, so you never knew how it was going to go, but if Liquid could keep that up, could be pretty easy. But again, this is the map that Liquid have been beat on by INTZ. Good rematch map. And this is very important to Liquid for prize money to make sure that Ninja's Pajamas can't take pretty much... I mean, they're going to chop their money in half if they lose this. If NIP can overtake them. Now, there's no guarantee that NIP win their match. They have the more difficult match in theory against FaZe. But man, Liquid, if they can't win this, are definitely going to be watching that match, and fingers crossed, which will be up after this one. We'll see Doc being brought in. Something a little different here. Pala feeling confident after that last round. Understandably. So we'll see. Still, again, just 2 hard breachers brought. INTZ just doesn't want to commit to it the same way Liquid did. To be fair, it didn't necessarily do all that much for Liquid. They really only needed 2 hard breachers the way they were playing it, especially with how efficient Sex Cake was being. But, you know, I understand the backup. Especially when Humbata could be a strong fragger anyways, and you get the flashes clear at ADSs, so I don't know.
It's just the flexibility the operator brings, right? It's obviously not Maverick where you have the grenades, but still Hibana can do so much work. Back in the day, it was even better because the Bearing 9 was basically a pocket, submachine gun, but way better than what it is now. That's for sure. For a lot of people that don't know those days, man, Bearing 9 was an absolute sniper rifle. But yeah, no longer the case. You're gonna have to rely on your Type 89 or Bearing 9 super close up to grab any sort of kill, really. But the wall's opened up. That's what matters right now. And this is excuse me. I don't know why I'm stumbling over myself, but there is the drone coming in from the Sofia, and you can get all the information you want. There's one player sitting right up behind that small window inside a garage, and the is going to come in and open his way into garage. So how do you deal with this? There might be some players to pressure you from below as INTZ, but you have the essentials down, which is already pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that also come out from Liquid, and it didn't necessarily turn into a round win, just because they weren't able to find kills in PSK. Kind of doing the same thing here, denying a lot of these plays. You see a lot of players in Garage as well, so I don't think Garage control is going to happen for INTZ, especially with the Doc up there, if he's able to stick, being in this position like he should be able to. Drunk's trying to do something about it. He can throw some flashbangs up to clear that ADS, but they don't have the Capital with it being banned. And Wamai also doing a great job pulling those flashbangs away on top of the ADSs. Doc just going to juice himself up extra because he's got 3 stims. Might as well, right? Just in case you get into a fight. He's also going to be able to help his teammate get extra juiced up. I like this. Extra preparation to make sure they can survive those days. In fact, that is what saved Sexy Cake from that nade killing him right there, very likely. So again, one last Doc coming out. It's not enough to save Sexy Cake, but that forced them to burn a lot of their nades. And now Doc himself can possibly sit here and become Dr. Death if he can continue, because now 45 seconds left.
Oh boy.
Similar situation with Liquid, but Peak comes out favoring LMAO.
Very well done there from Lamau, and VNX turning around as Moringa fires down and finds nobody on the other end. PSK is waiting for his own TCSG. Grenade sails over, and PSK in the line of fire. Team Liquid stumbling all over themselves here. Drunk's going to go in for the plant. Buck will take a lot of damage, but he dishes out quite a bit against Nesk. There's one to down him and the finisher, and no overexposed. Nesk will go for the gunfight, and unfortunately he's already taken too much damage. Drunks finishing it up as INTZ tied at 4-4.
INTZ, man, it's surprising for a team that just can't seem to do well outside of these matches a lot of the time. This seems to be their wheelhouse. I mean, they're not always winning Clubhouse. In fact, outside of, again, the match against Liquid, they've drawn it every time. Just something about the way Liquid play Clubhouse that INTZ are able to play against. And, I mean, it's still looking like possibly a draw here, but a draw is not enough to seal the deal for Liquid. However, a draw is still not a bad thing, but a draw is about the same as a loss in terms of how things shake down for if NIP win, they win. If don't, NIP draw, they don't win. So it doesn't really make a difference for Liquid if they draw or lose. They need to win to lock in the spot. So how will it go this time? Liquid trying one more time on Cash. They had a good defense. They put up a good fight. I loved what we saw from the Doc up on the rafters, but it wasn't enough to save them. Even with all those grenade burn, just the Doc losing his gunfight. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Pallet just wasn't able to make it happen. They aren't going to play the same way, I would hope. I mean, I liked what they were doing, but they need maybe one extra ADS or my discs. Again, they played it decent, but the grenades did hit. The only thing that saved Sex Cake from dying earlier was just the Doc stim pistol being, extra stimmed up. And that's not enough to count on here. So we'll see. They again have plenty of grenades, 3 sets of grenades on attack, plus they have the lifeline impacts, which could do a little bit of damage. I imagine INTZ are going to get this job done quickly. Vit's doing a great job on Maverick. Very efficient here without having to change his repel, but it's punished a little bit for it on his ankle. However, Drunks doing the real punishing on a Moringa.
Attackers have
So
located
good
bomb.
kill there on a Moringa. Liquid losing these entries for no reason.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Oh man, this is really tough. You really want those numbers to stay up. I mean, this is still a site that you can hold on to with, you know, 1 or 2 players lost, but losing the Goyo, losing a Nitro Cell, all of that sort of utility is just not great. And when you have the availability of 3 hard breachers, 2 of them being played in here, it's huge. But Paulo's going to ring up himself, is going to find duds. A big kill still on the Zofia. I'd say on equal footing with the Goyo, considering the way the up gets played. And Vitz, come on, man. Honestly. All right, fair enough. That if only you had a Fnatic skin on your Suri Torch, then maybe things would have been a bit different. Can we get that in the game?
Well, at least
It'll
this is not a bad position to be in if you're a defense. I mean, it sucks to lose the Goya on the C4, the TCSG, but at least you've taken down duds in the meantime, and time's still burning down. You still have some delay tactics, you still have control of Garage. Still very doable for Liquid here, but given the way INTZ played it last time, if they can get that Garage control again, or just even play it a different, efficient way, still very doable here as grenades are still on board. And there we go, a nice kill from VNX from below, taking out Nesk. It's starting to look doable still for INTZ.
So, Paulo long angle here being held against the Maverick. The MP5, the Wamai, could just go off at any point, but it's wiser to just sit back and burn the time. And indeed, the Goyo shields are going to be blown up rightfully. Grenade will sail, and nobody catching it on the opposite end here in the hallway. But at the bottom of the lounge, it might be the buck coming up. The grenade going off, and Sexy Cake will still find a kill. He's still alive. The grenade, unfortunately, does no damage, and the Doc is holding it down. The Lone Garage is still in control. There's some damage, some fire coming in from the outside through the window and servers, but the buck messes up the shots, and Liquid will get a kill each between Sexy Cake, PSK, and Paulo. And it's INTZ losing it out here, giving Liquid the advantage. But man, it still got close, man. Some of these gunfights should not have gone that way.
The back and forth. I mean, this time they didn't win the fight against Paulo, and that was a bit of the difference maker. He was able to try and hold the breach as well from his long angle because he had the ACOG. Just able to play it a little more strongly, but the back and forth here is real for sure. It's looking like we really could come down to a tie just because neither team can really seem to get a clear advantage. They both have some really dominant drunk style rounds, and then they both have rounds where it goes back and forth, down to time being a big factor. The one difference we're going to see here, though, is Jackal being played for Church this time. They really want to track down these roamers, make sure they can catch him. Paula got away with so much the last time on this defense. They don't want to let that happen this time. I don't know if pinging him with Jackal is going to make that much of a difference. It's not like, again, like with the drunk situation, they knew where he was at. He was just able to get away with a lot more than he should have been able to.
So, what's the play here from Liquid? INTZ are going to change off and bring them out on the Jackal. So, this is also a defense in the bar. Okay, fair enough. So this is something we saw Liquid running before. It is very active, very reliant on your players just kind of staying alive for as long as possible. And if you didn't see Paulo's impact on the round, it was absolutely massive. The man survived for way too long inside of logistics, and it's all mistakes from INTZ. Should have been able to take him out way before, and really at some point kind of ignore him. But he did the work. He dropped back down onto site and survived with 2 HP. He got 2 kills off of it. But there's us fighting Moringa. Still a kill. Good start here for INTZ.
Definitely important. Again, that's another C4 off the board. It's not necessarily the most important thing on this site in particular, but certainly going to help things out for the attack, who really need to make sure they can get this going. Paolo, though, picking off VNX. Trades back and forth. Nesk still able to do his thing as Vigil. They will start to actually put a little pressure here on downstairs with Blue being pressured by Duds. That's doing his droning upstairs. They still have the Jackal to do some tracking, though. Not sure if Lameo has been able to track anyone down just yet. So, there we go. Nice job, Mozzie, catching a drone. I think that was Vitz's drone. So, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to continue to pressure the top floor. We do have Pella all the way downstairs, actually. And there we go. Nice. Just
Why?
perfect timing from Sexy Kick, completely reading into Duds' push. So
Not
now that's
sure-
another man lost here.
Not sure why Duds just kind of moved up there for no real reason.
Yeah.
There was nobody in support of him. There was no drones to give him information. It was not really worth it, if you ask me. He's trying to capitalize on a possible position, but honestly, it was definitely not worth it. As long as if you're going to try to push solo into church, that's not a good idea. Let's just get it out of the way. And all the angles are still held up there. The Vigil is going to be detected, but who cares? It's Vigil. With all four still alive here, Liquid, they have man advantage. It's a site that usually you can even hold if you're one man down. So it's looking really good for Liquid to kind of fight back in this and put themselves on map point. They need a victory here today to really make that first spot position in LATAM PL completely theirs. $22,500 are on the line in this game, and all you need are 2 more rounds for Liquid.
Certainly possible to happen here as INTZ are pretty stalled out given the fact that they lost one extra player. But smokes are starting to come out, gunfights coming out as well. Drunk's able to pick off Nisk. So about to start as plant starts to go down here, but C4s are coming out. They will not stop the plant. Vitz, however, will take down Sex Cake. INTZ just collapsed at the last second. And back and forth we go. Continuing here for possibly the 3rd draw on Clubhouse for INTZ. Again, a draw is the same as a loss for Team Liquid in terms of securing their position against NIP, so they need to get 2 rounds in a row here to make sure they can secure that double the money for their prize, and that's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big prize difference because of the lack of the Sao Paulo land.
That round I'm at all.
Yeah.
It was just so mind-boggling. Liquid lost a player for free. They got 2 players of their own, and then they sat back. The correct thing to do. But then they just literally got pushed off the site. How does this happen?
How?
Honestly, I'm trying to talk louder and get very expressive, but I just really can't.
So expressive, let's just use facial expressions that we can't see.
I mean, you can see them. You have the camera feed. So
I choose not to look.
I think if you could, I think you would. Yeah. Why am I not surprised? Well, Liquid are going to do the same thing all over again. Just make sure you don't lose that player early.
I think they did a good job on the defense for the most part, but it's just the actual site defense. That's where they started to collapse on. A lot of good attack from INTZ in terms of taking the man advantage quickly and then just using that to start to get a plant down. A failed C4 to try and stop the plant as well was a bit of a whiff. That kind of cost them. They are going to have something different with the alibi this time instead of the vigil. I'm not sure how much difference that'll make, but hey, let's see. I don't think the vigil did a ton for them necessarily either, so I guess, 6 in one, half a dozen in the other in this case. We'll see possibly a push from Dirt, though. It looks like Drunks is considering it. That might be a big difference in the stack here. Well, a little bit slow going there. INTZ want to be careful, though. They know that they're going to be playing heavy control up top. They know they're going to have to deal with a lot of roam. Playing careful is the way to go, as long as you don't do it too slowly. So, the clock ticks down. 1 minute in. Not much accomplished so far for INTZ. In fact, they're bumping into each other in the stock door. They're going to at least get some control of server here. I don't think anyone in cash, judging from the lack of silhouettes, but they are looking like they want to set up for that dirt push. I just hope it's not like Duds' push last time into blue where he just kind of sacrifices himself needlessly.
Well, look at the Evil Eye also being set in it. That's an odd one.
Yeah.
I don't really see that often or really at all.
A Goo Mine's usually good enough.
I think that's overcommitting, but fair enough.
The upside it did force them to burn a nade that they now can't use to fight the player inside Dirt Tunnel. So there is that. A shield would have done the same as well, though.
Flashes out, and there's INTZ just poking around. Trying to find the Maestro maybe inside our armory. They're pushing in, but Moringa and Sexy Cake are going to find a kill each. Why would you do this? You have a Thermite and a Maverick. Why go the normal push into armory? Grenade's going to go off as Nesk will confirm the kill on LMAO. Moringa's down, but it's not really going to matter. There's a massive split between the Buck and the Zofia, and you get the confirmation, but Sexy Cake's going to be able to run back. Nesk's taking no damage. You can just back. The diffuser is inside of blue. Nest will get VNX. Dutch has to walk in, still unsure of where that alibi went. If only knew that everybody's already back down onto site. The castle barricade will confirm. If only. There it is. Shot to the head. Nesk, one more of the alibi. Liquid guaranteeing 1 point, but still, as you said, they're not out of the water yet.
So, back and forth. This is where they've got to break away from the pack here, because this one round can guarantee double the prize money for Liquid. All they got to do is win it. And they've proven they cannot win consistently, as they have literally won every other round here on their defenses. So, they have won cash one of the times. They're not being forced to go to gym. This is doable. Just don't do anything dumb. Now, last time, it hinged a bit on Pala being able to hold garage, something he failed to do the first defense on cash. So I want to see whether or not the same attack's going to come out from INTZ in terms of clearing him with the grenades, him and Sexy Cake, or if they try what they did last time and just try be a little more effective on it. It didn't work, so I don't know. I mean, INTZ are kind of in the driver's seat in how they want to attack this, but they've got to deal with 2 sets of TCSGs, 3 shields, Umai and Jaeger, Doc able to heal stuff up a little bit, and 1 C4, and a partridge in pear tree.
And a partridge and a pear tree. There we go. Sing with us, chat, please. Thank you very much. On the last day of Pro League, Milos gave to me. Come on, help me out here. Something.
No, I like you hanging in the wind a little bit. It's fun. It is kind of funny that they would have a jukebox on this map, but not a karaoke.
I'm on the go. 10 reinforcements. 9 heart-breaching thingies, whatever.
Alright, maybe take some time to think about it.
Okay. And a really bad Maverick. No, it's so far Fitz is trying to play the game here inside.
He's actually been doing a good job on Maverick.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Both been pretty capable.
Not too shabby, that's for sure. Better than we saw from Team 1 in the first game, at least the beginning of it. Second time for Clubhouse today, and here he is trying to break open the wall to enter into garage. So again, the contest is on, ladies and gentlemen. What can you do with a partridge in a pear tree that fits with the Pro League theme? That is up to you guys to find. You gotta retweet. It's free clout, trust me. As the wall opened up.
Bomb located by attack.
Well, they are looking to possibly pressure garage again, so I think they are going to go after Pala. So you don't dedicate that much time to opening garage unless you're actually going to go for a garage control. They are concerned about any kind of jump outs the window, and there we go. Nesk going to fall. That's a good start here. A little bit of a weird sloppy open, but doesn't matter. So Pala and Sexy Cake going to be holding garage. This is the big question. Can they hold it successfully? Can they stop the pressure? As now they've lost Nesk, they've got 1 less player in sight. Here with my discs going off, pulling in some of the utility. A lot of pressure coming from the breach as well, so they could try and hold Paula down in his position. Can they make it happen?
Yep, there it is, docking up and going for the fight. Yes, perfectly placed here. Sexy Cake's gonna survive for so long in this position. Do you have another grenade to deal with him? That's the question. Moringa's going to find one on a VNX, denying the push into sight. And Liquid, again, they need this round victory. Guarantee themselves the number one position. And 5K will rattle off. Oh no, the great kill is here. And the second one to follow up. Sexy Cake. Amazing place there with the MP5. One more close to it. But no, he's still alive. Alamau is able to walk up the garage. And it's all up to Moringa. He's got Pokeballs and he can use them at any point in time. 5 more shells left. That is not much here in terms of potential. Alamau is going for the plant and he loses it. The 6-6 tie. INTZ actually forced himself through. And Team Liquid will have to rely on NIP losing their matchup against FaZe to guarantee themselves $50,000.
Yeah. A lot of pressure for Moringa. They're essentially playing a 1v2 for about $22,000.